All right, so guys, here what's happening. Are sitting in on our conversation here. It's going really nice, and I hope all could catch up with it. But so much our wisdom coming out here. I had a record. Flip camera. So we talking about the pollution situation.
Pollutions and
And the responsibility people have, each person have that responsibility as much as anybody else, big or small. They teach you to keep yourself clean, keep your house clean, keep your place clean, because it's health. And if you destroy that, you destroy yourself. You need to stand up strong and project your thoughts and your ideas that it makes sense in the world. And we will not have to depend on other people. Within each of us is that sense of responsibility. But it's in the Bible where people were told they would get what people had planted and reaped because they had been wrong.
look at a perfect example coming on the watch. Take a video of it. Somebody building high up and when the rubbish and the kid coming down.
That's the same thing,
Yeah.
you know. They always say you want best water, you go to the head of the fountain.
Yeah.
And what happens if you got the head of the fountain and it's dirty,
Yeah.
It's not pure. So how do we get people to decide to do what is wrong, what is right? Training, talking. Kids would tell their parents, we will learn this in school, we have to do this, keep things clean. Do parents listen to kids? Or kids listen to parents? I don't know yet. I will have to find that out later. But we do what we can, when we can, at all times.
Here we see there. We do what we can at all times.
Yeah.
Never giving up. Sticking up for your values. So do you
Because-
believe it is possible to change a generation?
Oh gosh, you can't change your generation, no. Because it started with one person. To get a whole generation to follow you, it's not impossible. But it will take a lot of doing to get a whole generation to turn. And unless you can break into a couple of people to follow you there, it wouldn't happen. It's almost like a revolution. And a revolution is a dangerous thing. That's what caused Castro to get into Cuba. And Cuba is really, oh, you go to Cuba, you feel sorry for the people in Cuba. They still driving 1940 cars and 1925 cars because they can't get parts. They had to make parts and fit this and fit that to get it go. But they seem to be happy still. And it's a nice place to go for a holiday. But the economy of Cuba itself, whether they're increasing or improving, I don't know how far that goes. If the dollar is worth how much in Cuba, whether they'll allow them to join the states and people go and trade into, because that's something that they're trying to do.
Right.
But it's way out there. They're doing very good in tourism. A lot of people going to Cuba for holidays and all that. But the average man in the street, from what I see, in bits and pieces of shows about Cuba, they're still fixing 40s cars, putting together
Yes.
and getting them to go.
Yes, I've seen that.
But they had good music, very good music. They have their own music, and projecting that to the world, music.
Yes.
And that's something people could hang on to. You have your own music or your own culture.
Right.
Yeah. But unless you make up your mind to get into devote 10, you have to devote a lot of time to that. And if you're doing something else here, you can't go there for a couple of minutes and say, okay, come back a couple of minutes. You got to be there for years
Yes.
and years. And have strong people supporting you to do that you do.
To make changes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Now, my battery power is a bit low, but I have a particular question that I really want to ask you, which is this. Well, as you would be aware, corporal punishment was banned in schools,
Yeah.
right? And the culture of Trinidad has changed drastically in terms of teachers no longer have the rights to use corporal punishment.
Yeah.
Now, you would have come from a generation where I know there was a lot of corporal punishment.
It was there, yes.
However, do you think that because corporal punishment has been removed, that this may be a major contribution as to why the police has even gotten worse in terms of behavior of the younger generation now? Because I will say, the generation now, they are not as disciplined as the generations before. What is your take on this?
That is not a yes or no question. That is a lot. I agree it has deteriorated some since they stopped disciplining children in school to the extent of corporal punishment. But children come from parents, and parents would have to help the teachers to instill into them the goodness that will protect and make community respected. You need the help of parents, child, and teacher. Everybody come together. I don't know if we're getting that, but I do know that in my days, if you don't respect the man in the street, like I told you earlier, and you don't respect that, when that man gets out there, your mom, parent would know that you disrespected someone, and they will scold you twice because you're disrespecting that man. And if we have something like going, we can try to bring back what we lost, and then probably see a better community with responsibility, and maybe better grades at the colleges, better student coming out of schools and colleges and making use of universities and colleges. And so instead of students being low-class workers, will be educated in technical schools, doing trades and welding, electrical, carpentry, pipe fitting, and all that, and into the computer world, and getting into where you just sit at the keyboard and sell and do business all around the world. Kids starting that in school now, are we close to getting that computers into school, that they will be talking to each other around the world and then doing business, selling. We got to stop thinking small. We got to think big and expand and share the knowledge you have with different companies. China doing so much. They want to do trade with the States, and they want to buy. At one point there was a talk, they wanted to buy the waters in the Lake Ontario in Canada. They say they can't do that. They have this thing to monopolize products, gross products like natural resources. You have to keep your resources and use it for your advantage, not for other people. how many people would stop and say to China, you can't do that? They have this attitude, gimmick, something like what they're doing in Israel and the other country there. They want to fight and kill people for land. Israel and
You will have to forgive me, eh? When it comes to world news, I can't help you.
no, that's all right. That's all right. Netanyahu and Abbas Havali.
I like how you're rocking the brains, man.
Israel and oh shit.
But nevertheless, I understand the point that you're making.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you know, one will hope, because the battery is extremely low now, but one will hope that, you know, we just need to keep hoping and praying for the younger generations.
Well, definitely you can't lose hope. You can't lose hope. You have to be there. You have to be there. You have to keep. That's why I say you can't do a job here and you go there for 2 minutes and then come back here. It's kind of full-time job to get world help, world improvement,
Yes.
in betterment for humanity. To see them living a higher standard of life, a better standard of life. They need
Yes.
people who would know, and you need people who would be willing to teach and to say, stay there in the cause. Yeah.
Well, before the battery dies,
Okay, yeah, we close off here now.
we will close off here now. What's your name again?
Bob Hancham,
Thank you very much, sir.
you're welcome.
Mr. Bob.
Yeah.
Yes, man. And safe return to your homeland. And we hope to see you again.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to meet you next time you return. So,
Well, looking forward to that too.
yes, it was our pleasure.
Yeah.